spliff while you're waiting for Jeran. Smoke one spliff, get high to the rhythm. Smoke one spliff while you're waiting for Jeran. Smoke one spliff, get high to the rhythm. Smoke one spliff while you're waiting for Jeran. Smoke one spliff, get high to the rhythm. Smoke one spliff while you're waiting for Jeran. Smoke one spliff, get high to the rhythm. Jeran, we waiting for Jeran. Jeran, we waiting for Jeran.
Wait no more, I'm here. Welcome everybody to the show. Got another fun one for you today. Should be short. We're going to go through a launch that I did yesterday. But I am having a couple issues here, but hopefully not too bad. I filmed the SpaceX launch last night. I'll show you from where here in a moment. Let me see what's the best way to do this. I have one of my monitors is not working, so I'm a little bit discombobulated, but it should work. Let me make sure the sound is good. Can somebody give me a 5x? Looks good. Looks good. Not clipping. All right, we're good. So anyway, we were 177 miles away, so we're going to do the math together to make sure that we are correct, which usually if it's me, it may not be correct. So what are you going to do? I saw somebody in the chat say, oh, Jaren sold his soul. So that's what happens when you are honest. If you're a truther and tell the truth, people think you sold your soul. Can you imagine? I can't, but it's all right. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? All you can do is be honest with yourself, be honest to others, and whatever happens on the flip side happens on the flip side. We do have another show coming up after this at 6 o'clock. Let me see if I've got the thumbnail for that. We do. That's coming up with MC Toon is going to be presenting the first 5 of the, I don't know what there is, 15 or 14 or something, experiments or tests that were done in Antarctica. I don't know all of them off the top of my head. I know we're doing celestial South Pole, magnetic strength, and I don't remember the other ones, but he's doing some other ones. What is the other ones? Maybe... Oh, sunrise, sunset times in Punta Arenas. Oh, length of measuring longitude lines, I believe. So anyway, lots of fun stuff going on there. That's coming up at 6. Okay, 6 p.m. Pacific time. So let me show you over here where I was, and we're going to do a little profile. Let me bring this up for you. All right, so this is our Google Earth. And just showing you this spot here. I'll back out so you can see where I'm at here on the street. We are just at a street here. Off of Planada, basically. I'm going to put a little marker here. Okay, so we're right here at the side of this road. Thank you. And we're going to draw a straight line, and I'll show you how from the video you can tell where I'm at. But we're going to go from here to Vandenberg. So we're going to come way out here. Vandenberg is going to be straight south here. It'd actually be easier if I just type it in. Vandenberg. Thank you. All right, so we're going to bring it over here to the launch complex, and there's a little thing over here. Where is it? Okay, is that space 10 and complex 2? Oh, I think it's complex 4, but I don't know where it's at. Complex 4 is, am I just not seeing it? 1 east. Okay, I'm just going to put it to here. I don't know which one it is, but I think it's this one. This is 1. Yeah, it's one of these anyway. These don't have names on them. I believe it's this one, though, from what I remember last time. Okay, so on this one here, we're going to... Oh, well, what I should do it as, I'm going to do it again, but I'm going to do it as a... Let me go save and save here. Okay, so I'm going to do it as a line with a elevation profile. Because what we're checking here is we're going to make sure that there's nothing in my way. Obviously, if there's a 10,000 foot mountain, then that's going to impact this, right? So we're going to now draw a path from here all the way up to where I'm at here. Let's get in there. Okay. So there's that. We're going to add the elevation profile. It's going to bring that up, and you can't see it. Lovely. 1 second. We're going to fix this so you can see it a little better. Still not high enough. A little higher. Still not enough for you to see this part. There. That's good enough. All right. So you see there's the elevation profile down here. And you'll see that we have a max height 3508. I don't know if you see that, 3508. So I'm going to write that down. That is the mountain that's in between us. 3508 feet. And we want to find out how far away that is. And it's, you can see here, at that exact point, it is, come on, 109 miles. Make sure it's not higher. Okay, so 109 miles from here. Okay, so we need to go 109 miles in, and then we're going to make sure that we know that that is 3457. Okay, so we're going to go 109 miles in. Okay, and the reason we're going to do that is now we're going to go to GeoGebra, and we're going to draw out this profile so we can see which one it matches better. GeoGebra. So we're going to, I'm not going to draw the sphere Earth because we can just use the calculator and get that right. But for the flat Earth, we're going to need to draw this out a little bit. GeoGebra is a free site if you want to use it. Go right ahead. I give you permission. All right, so we're going to go start calculator. Okay, so the first thing we're doing is we're doing our 177 miles. Okay, so 177 times 5280. Oops, that's not the right button. Calculator, thank you. So we're going 177 times 5280 equals 934,560. So on GeoGebra, we're just going to put down our first marker here. We're going to go with a line segment. We're going to start here, and we're going to go all the way to 934,560. So we're doing feet. Oops. Let me get this thing over here. And here we go. This is kind of a pain in the butt sometimes. You have to do this a couple times to make sure you get to the numbers you need, but we'll be there pretty fast. We're getting to what? 934,560. 934,560. That's 150,000. So we go 934. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put the mountain and see where we would be able to see the rocket first. So we got 9 here. So we're 934,560. So there's 934,560 is going to be here. It's getting a little closer. Oh, you can't see that either. Jeez. Let me try and move this up. It's a little better. Try that. All right, 934. Let's get in here and make sure we get to 560. 934. 934.5 here. 934.560. Okay, so there's 934.560 there. Okay, so there's our distance of 177 miles. We said that 109 miles in, which I should have done the math on that. We're going to do 109 miles in. 109 times 5280 equals 575, 520. So we're going to 575, 520. Excuse me. I get way out of here, way out of here, way out of here. 575, 520. 575 is right in here. Okay, 575 is going to be here. 575, 520. 570, whoops. 575, 575, 520. Okay, we're going to put a point there. Let's put a, well, we're going to have to put, that's where we're going to put a, like a little mountain. So we're going to use a, I don't know, we can use a, what do they have, parallel? Wait, more. Usually have like a, some sort of drawing tool. There we go, this one. Polygon. All right, so 575, 520, we're going to be doing, which is about here. We're going to do a mountain, and we said that that mountain is 30,508. Okay, so there's 500, 2,000, 3,000. 35 is going to be about here. We'll fix it 1 second if we have to move that. There's our mountain. Okay. And let's go make sure this top dot is at the right spot. Change over to this tool. And so we have to do 3508. So that is at 35, pretty close. 3520 is there. 3508 is going to be there. Okay, so there's our 3508. There's our mountain that's going to be between us and the launch. Oh, also, I forgot to mention, if we go back to here, we'll notice that the elevation of this rocket takeoff is, as you see at the bottom. Why does it say 0? Oh, because I got terrain turned off. There we go. Terrain's turned on. So the elevation there, hello, is 144. Does that seem right? 164, 164. Okay, so 160 we'll say. And then the elevation where I'm at is, so what do we say, 160, and my elevation is, from here is 253. Okay. So we'll go mark those real quick on our GeoGebra. Move this. Oops, that's the wrong thing. That's fine, it can go there. All right, so there's our mountain. We're going to go to the end here and add a little platform for us of 160 feet. And this is where the rocket will take off. 160. Okay, so we'll do another parallel. I mean a polygon. Where'd it go? There, polygon. Okay, and we're going to do a little, what do we say? 160. So that is 150. 160 be here. Yes. Okay, there's 160. We're going to go down to here. And so this is like where the rocket is sitting on this high. Not a box, but close enough. I'm going to move that down. Okay. There we go. And we're also going to be doing the base where we're taking off from. And then we're just going to draw a array, if you will. I think that's what it's called. And just see what, if it clips the top of that mountain, where do we first see the mountain if it's a flat earth? So we're getting in here. We said we're doing 253 as the height here. 250. Okay, there's 250. So let's go 253. All right. 250. I'm sorry. Yeah, 253. Okay, about there. And that's where I'll be standing, is on top of that. Okay, we're good. We got that now. And this closed. Okay. Oops. Don't know what happened. All right, so now we're going to grab one of these. What is it called? A segment, a line, array, a vector, array. Okay, so we're grabbing array, and we're going to be looking from here as we peer off into the distance. And let me go back up here and grab this. Okay, so here's our array, and we just need to make sure that that passes the very tiptoe, the very tippy top of the mountain halfway there, or wherever it was, 109 miles away. Let's grab this, pull it out. Okay, so there's our mountain. Let's get in there. And we just want it to just cross right at the tippy top. Okay, because that's our line of sight, so we can't see anything beyond that. So we're going to pull this down right to that D. There we go. So now we've got our line of sight, and now we just need to go see where does this line cross the launch. And that would be the only way we could see it, which is here. Okay, so let's measure the distance of this ray from our segment. So we're doing a segment from the very bottom here. Do I do it from the ground or no, from the takeoff spot? Okay, so we're doing it from here, and we're going up to the line that's crossing. Okay, we'll do it there, and then we're going to go measure that line with the measuring tool. Where's measuring tool? Somewhere in here. There, come on. Distance, there it is, distance or length. All right, so the distance is, so 5,358. Okay, so what that is that would be the soonest you'd be able to see the rocket. Would be 5,358 feet on a flat earth. Okay, if we go to the curve calculator, because we want to figure out what did M say, do we just go metabunk curve, I believe? That's probably the easiest one. Metabunk curve calculator. Okay, so we are doing 177 miles. We can do a 6-foot viewer height. Okay, and we're going to look at here. So we've got the, now I don't think we need to use refraction at all. I wouldn't use it because we are looking off into the distance, and it's not above water. I don't know. I think we're okay without it, but you can see the difference here. So let's go here. We see the geometric drop is 20,901 feet. Okay. So what that means is that if it's a flat Earth, we should see the rocket at 5358. If it's a curved Earth, we should expect to see it at 20,901, say 21,000 or thereabouts. Okay. So let's see, that's 5358 on a flat and 21,000 on a globe. Okay, now let me see if I can fix this issue I was having earlier. Is this still working? No, just tab. Hold on 1 second. Let's see if I can tab over there. No. One of my monitors is just like frozen or something. I can't get my mouse over there. All right, we're gonna have to put it on here. Let me grab this. What do we want to do here? Where's it at? So just 1 second. I'm just gonna have to upload the video to my. I usually play it in my player, but it's not. My player's stuck over there, so can't use that. So we're gonna have to do it over here. This will work. This is fine. Good. All right. So I'm just adding this, and I'm gonna add the video that I took. Oh, and then I did render it with the. I synced it up. I'll show you how I did that. Let's go with the media source. Yes, thank you. All right, there we go. This PC, A drive. Okay, and this one. All right. Wait, where is it? No, I said A drive. Weird. There we go. And there. All right, so this is the one. I'll show you both, but this I did infrared as well, but it didn't come out great because it's nighttime. So obviously, that's not the best time to use infrared. Let me see if this comes up here. Oh, I don't want to loop it. I don't want to use that. And I close file. Okay. Let's see. This might be way big for a second. I'm just going to try and move this. Yeah. So give me a second as I readjust it.
Stage 2 lock float is complete.
Okay. So this is on the lower left, we've got the SpaceX feed. On the lower right, we've got an infrared. Straight ahead, we've got just a regular camera.
Rocket 9 is in startup.
With that call from SpaceX, we're now just awaiting the SpaceX Launch Director to give their go for launch.
This is media number 3.
LD is go for launch.
And with that call, we're going to go ahead and listen to the final 30 seconds of the count.
Oh, geez.
Step back and join you back.
I didn't know that I accidentally kept the car sounds in there. They were supposed to come out of the final render. They didn't. All right. So let me show you. You can see right here. Pause. Notice these telephone poles here. We're going to switch back and show you where I'm standing. Just keep an eye on those telephone poles. You got the double one there first, and then they kind of go off in the distance, the little shack there. So now if we go back here, I'm going to show you that that's exactly where I'm standing. On here. And we're going to get down in here, drop our guy. And as we turn around, you're going to notice the exact same thing. Okay, actually, maybe be a little bit this way. Come on. Okay, so we're about here. And we're going to be zoomed in, obviously. It's going to look more like this. All right, so you can see that that's the same spot, right? So we got the two things. You got the little shack here and telephone poles again. If we switch back to the video, you'll notice it's the same. Where did I put that video? Scene 2. There we go. All right, so that is the same here, you'll notice. And you can see that shed there in the back. So basically that's it. We're looking at 186 degrees south. Okay, and let's go. Let's play. And we'll see the timing, and I'll show you how we sync this up. Here we go. Sorry about the car sounds. That's going to be kind of annoying. No, don't want to do that. There's not too many cars. So you're going to see this light out here. Where can you see my mouse? You can't, huh?
T-minus 10, 9, 8.
Okay, so here goes our launch.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition and liftoff. Go Falcon, go Starlink.
Okay, so on the lower left, obviously, that's what we're watching as it takes off.
Vehicle is pitching downrange.
I had the infrared just on the tripod,
Is nominal.
and then I was holding the main camera. I swear when I was out there, I kept thinking this light, I was like, what is that? Is that light hit? But obviously it's not. When you see actually where it is, that's like really close to me. It's inside of that little, like a little shed that they've got there or something, a little tent. Kind of funny that I didn't know what that was. So we're already at 43 seconds.
Power and telemetry nominal.
50 seconds. Let's pause it real quick. So it says that the craft is 7.3 kilometers right now. Let's go. What is 7.3 kilometers to feet? So as of right now, it's 23,000 feet, the rocket. 23,000. So we certainly have not seen it past 5,000. Now, according to my numbers, we were supposed to see it if it's a globe around 20, what did I say, 21,000? So we're a little bit behind as of right now. Let's see what goes.
Falcon 9 is supersonic.
You'll see that the infrared picked it up first. So just remember, I mean, this took off from my horizon, or, you know, right there. And it took a minute to get between here and here, technically. Oh, you can't see my mouse. So you have to think, it took a minute to get just out of the horizon, or else maybe the Earth is curved, at which point you would not see it until it got past the limb of the Earth, if you will. I'm not the best filmer. This is my first time ever filming a launch. I'm not, no Red's rhetoric, all right? So give me a break.
And about a minute and a half into flight now so far, all going nominally with this Falcon 9 mission.
Now you'll notice the sync up here.
They are thermally conditioning the Merlin vacuum engine on the second stage of the vehicle in preparation for the start of its burn. Coming up on a few events in fairly rapid succession. We'll see first stage main engine cutoff for MECO at about T plus 2 minutes and 25 seconds. That'll be followed by stage separation a few seconds after that, and then the ignition of that Merlin vacuum engine. Payload fairings will be deployed a little before the 3-minute mark. Now more than 2 minutes into flight.
It's very cool, very pretty. I mean, it was just after sunset, so it was, I think 6:09 was the launch time. And so you can see here that it's synced when he goes main engine cut off and then reignite. Watch the light here.
Main engine cut off.
So everything's out. This falls off.
Stage separation confirmed.
Notice there's no fire here, nothing burning. And then when it reignites, this is going to reignite at the same time.
And back ignition.
Reignite, there it is. And then I'll show you another way we can know that it's synced up. You can see the infrared's not real good at the bottom right. You can't really see it great.
There you see the deployment of the hypersonic grid fins on the Falcon first stage booster, preparing for fairing deployment.
And then in a second, you're going to actually see the flashes in the lower left right now that the booster is displaying.
Fairing separation confirmed.
We're going to be able to match those up with the flashes here in a second to see that it's synced. And here I kind of zoom out and then I zoom back in, and that's when we pick them all up. We can actually see the rocket falling, the booster falling.
Both vehicles are on nominal trajectories.
Okay, so as I zoom in here, keep an eye on the lower part of that sperm, if you will, sperm head.
Nice view of the orbital sunset as the
look at the bottom of it.
Falcon 9 continues on with its
see that booster?
Burn.
Now watch as it flashes. It'll match the flash on the lower left. Flash. Watch it. Watch it.
Coming up next will
flash.
be the
see that?
ignition
So they're
of
synced.
3 of the engines
watch
on
it.
the Falcon 9 first stage booster.
Flash.
Marking the beginning of the entry burn to slow the vehicle down.
And flash. Okay. So pretty synced. I don't have any problems with the syncing.
Entry burn today lasting about 24 seconds in total.
So clearly, if we're looking at what is how many feet. So we said we should see it at what time for the flat Earth? We should see it at 5358 feet. So I'm going to type in that 5358 feet is 1.6 kilometers. So I'm going to just rewind this to where we were at when we were at 1.6.
And lift off. Go Falcon, go Starlink.
So right here, it would still be behind that mountain. Still be behind the mountain. Yep, on a flat Earth.
Propulsion is nominal.
We're at 1.0, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 1.6, 1.7. So right about there, if the Earth was flat, it has surpassed the top of the mountain. That's 5358. I'm sorry, that's not right. The mountain was 3508. Oh, yeah, but 5358 is where we're supposed to see it. Got you. So we're not seeing that there. And this is at what? T plus 29. So it's about another 30 seconds then if we wait. I don't remember recording what time it was. It was probably a little bit after a minute. And so I know that those lights kind of, they threw me off too. I was like, what is that light? Is that something? But it's not. Even though the light comes from behind that, it's nothing. It's inside a little structure that's there, like a window. So we're at 59.
Is supersonic.
Okay, so now we're at 101, 102. And then you can see this picked it up first. And then you can see it there. So there is, some questions for sure. Let me see if I can actually, I'm going to have to makeshift some stuff this time because I don't have my normal windows open, or it's not letting me use one of my monitors. White. Okay, I just wanted to bring this up so I can show you. So I'm just taking this little sliver of whiteness here. Alt, and bring this down. All right, and can you see that if I do that? So, I'd say that probably the horizon is about here somewhere. If you're talking about, and I mean, even if it's there, maybe just a little bit higher. So from that spot to the time that we see it is a minute, right? Let's press play on this. Or will it let me press play? So that's here. Oh, this one. Okay. Sorry, that whiteboard's now in the bad place. So we zoom in. So, and it's moving pretty good. I tried to calculate how far it's been. Let's go. So if we saw it at what? Well, let's go double the distance.
About a minute and a half into flight now so far. All
Hold on,
going
let's see this
nominally with this Falcon.
So I want to see what distance it was when we saw it. The infrared looks like it comes in early there.
Falcon 9 is supersonic.
So 101, 102. I'd say about there. Let's just okay, there. So 104 is, I think that says 10 kilometers. So 10 kilometers is 32,000 feet, 32,808 feet. And if it's 32,808, so it went basically, what I want to do is I want to see how high it is at 64,000 feet. So we can double the height and see, because for instance, if double the height is way up here, so we're now looking for 64, which would be then 20, right? We just want 20 kilometers. Yep. Okay, so we're going to go to 20 kilometers and see how high this is. So kind of look where this is on the screen. And then we're going to see how high it is which is right at the horizon. Now we're going to go till it gets to 20 kilometers. So 13, 15, 18, 20.3. All right, so now you can see where the rocket is compared to the horizon line. So now put the other half of the distance there, right? So you're almost talking like the bottom of the screen is where the rocket would have had to start if it went that high. Now, clearly it went the second 32,000 feet way faster, but that doesn't matter what we're doing. We're just saying, look at the distance between the rocket and the horizon, and then picture that same distance the rocket had to cover, but it never left the horizon if it's a flat Earth, right? That's the way I see it. Maybe somebody else sees it a different way. Let me bring up this real quick so I can show you what I mean. Let's go to the color. Yes, again. And hold this down. Okay, so what I mean is move. And this one out. All right, so if it went this distance, okay, I'll transition this over. So it went this white box worth of distance in the in the second half. So if I just move that box down, it's going to be here now. And you'll see that that's technically where it should have started. So the question becomes, did this rocket conform to the flat Earth at all in any way? I don't see that as a possibility. Unless you believe in, I don't know what you would call this area, vanished land. So you'd have to believe that in this region, let me make sure I draw here so you can see what I mean. Alt, down. Okay, so what you'd have to believe is that in this region here, that the rocket just lingers there for 45 seconds in that white zone and just sits there. Does that make any sense? That the first 32,000 feet are just in that white zone. And then the second 32,000 feet are put it up in the air. I don't know. That doesn't make much sense to me. So, I mean, I do want to do this again because I do see there's some more launches coming up. I think that a week from today, or a week from yesterday, one or the other, is another launch. And I'm going to go film it again and see if I can get better, at least maybe better positioning. I still think that's about the best you're going to get, although I might look closer to see if I can find a spot that doesn't have mountains in the way. But who knows? But clearly there's no, if we go back over here, there's no mountain that could have gotten in the way to block it all the way till that height. Let me show you. We're going to go to this one again, browser, and bring this up. So let's just check this real quick. So if we exit here, we're just going to go along here with the, oops, don't do that. I said exit. Okay, so I'm just going to draw again with the tool that gives us the path, which is you do this button here, path, and then show elevation profile. And what I want to do is just make sure that there's nothing in that area that's even close to something tall enough to get in the way. So that's not becoming a, so if we kind of do, I'm just going to do like a little squiggle here. I'm going to kind of go this way a little bit, up, and this way a little bit, this way, passing that line back and forth, just to see if any mountains in that area are of considerable size. All right, so if we now move this, come on, move. All right, so you'll see that even in this path that I just drew the squiggly lines, the highest we can get is even shorter than we just did. So 3290 is the highest I see, which means we didn't cross actually the same path as we did. Let's try and do it again this way. So I'm just trying to see if there's any mountains that could be possibly blocking me in any way. So we're just going to kind of draw these a little bit this way. Okay, now we look again. Tallest one, 33. Wait, what's that? No, sorry, 3876. Isn't going to make much of a difference. What do we do? 35 something. So think about that. If we just add 300 feet, it's not going to change the final result by more than a couple hundred, which still puts it in the 5,000s. Any mountains over in this region? Same thing. So yeah, so on either side of this line that we actually used, we don't see anything that can be a problem. Let's go there. That one goes to 3,200, 3,246. And we'll just do one time on the other side of this red line. And then you'd be in agreement that there's no mountain blocking it. So we have to invent something that causes things to stay on the horizon for minutes when there's no reason for that. Somebody might say, oh, well, the distance is too far, so the item's too small. Well, what about going up makes the item not too small? Nothing. That wouldn't change the... So what do we have here? About 3,700, looks like. So yeah, so our accurate, our 3,500 was good. There is no mountains in the direction that I'm looking. This is the mountain that you're actually seeing, is this one here. This is the mountain that's high. Oops. Oh, this thing's all screwed up. But that's the one that gives us the big one that we used. So that's pretty cool. Let me clear that. We have that now. All right, so I might check the chat in a second. I'm just going to recap real quick. So we have a launch yesterday, 6:09 p.m. I observed it from here in Planada, which is close to my hometown. The reason I took this is it's the best place I could find of a clear view of the southern. Again, if you come this way, you're going to have all kinds of stuff in your way. And then from my house, there's the stuff behind it and a school behind it that gets in the way. But from here, this is our best view. The launch took off this way. Oops, don't do that, please. And was going this way, out towards the south. Hello. Trying to see upwards a little bit. There we go. So it kind of took off this way. That's what you're seeing as it goes off to the south. And so what you have to believe then is that the rocket took off, and for the first 30 seconds, it literally stayed where for the first minute. For the first minute, it stayed where the hand is. It never got, the hand's not even small enough to put where, it's kind of more like this, right? So that hand now is kind of the size of that mountain, which is the 3,000-foot mountain that we're seeing over. So the hand had to encompass the first 1 minute of flight, but then we looked at the second same distance, and it was way up in the sky. So clearly to me, this was a evidence of the globe Earth. Again, there's no bias here other than I went to observe it to see what we would see. I knew that we were looking in the 186 south direction, as you can see here. I knew that we were going to see it launch. I knew that I had to record early because, of course, if you're watching on YouTube or something, there's a delay. So I just started recording when I felt like they should be going launched pretty soon, and then heard those guys after. Ended up being about a 22-second delay. And again, then it goes back up here. So one more time, we'll go back to that video. And where'd you go? Here. Hold on, I want to make sure this is the right one. What did I do with that video? Yeah, here. Should be this. Go, transition. How weird. What happened? Here, video, YouTube source. Oh, here it is. So it's a different scene. Okay, let's turn this down now.
Stage 2 lock.
Let me get rid of that bar. So I'll run it by a couple people just to see if they see anything different. People that have done this before. Maybe they think I timed it wrong. Basically, it was a little bit more difficult than normal because... Let me turn this off. It was a little more difficult than normal to time it because usually they have stage separation on screen. So I can see it. But you'll notice here, when it gets to stage separation, they have the wrong camera on. Listen, we'll get there. Okay, so there it takes off. Again, we figured out that the first 32,000 feet took a minute, and we saw how far that went. And then the next 32,000 feet took way less than a minute because it's obviously going faster, but it was way up in the sky as well. But we're just talking feet. We're not talking speed here. So let me show you here as we get closer to it showing up. What are we at? Whoops. Well, we'll go back here. There we go. So again, this is at 55 seconds. We should have already seen it at 29 seconds if it was a flat Earth. We're at 1 minute. So there we see it. And I'll just show you again why I timed it the way I did. Turn this up.
Merlin vacuum engine on the second stage of the vehicle in preparation for the start of its...
Went way too far. We want to go to about 2.5 minutes. It's 1.5.
This
Actual
Falcon
started.
134.
Started.
vehicle
Okay, here's 142.
for the start of its burn. Coming upon a few events in fairly rapid succession. We'll see first stage main engine cutoff for MECO at about T plus 2 minutes and 25 seconds.
So he said MECO at 225.
Followed by stage separation a few seconds after that, and then the
Let me see what I got it at.
Merlin vacuum engine.
225.
Payload fairings will be deployed a little before the.
You'll notice they switch the cameras to inside the craft right as they do MECO, so I really can't tell. I had to kind of guesstimate, and then I found one that worked with the flashes. But I needed to see the camera on the craft as it separated, but they didn't do that. So you'll see he takes the camera will go off this here at 2:30. So in about 8 seconds. But I watched for engine cutoff.
Main engine cutoff.
So he says it, and then they switch the camera, see?
Stage separation confirmed.
But then I watch this and watch when it reignites. That's when I reignite.
And back ignition.
Boom. And then it lights up. So I don't think it can be off. I'd be surprised if it was. And then to have that match up with the flashes later seemed to be the right recipe.
The deployment of the hypersonic grid fins on the Falcon first stage booster.
So this is 177 miles. I just want you to think to yourself, have you ever filmed something from 177 miles away? And the answer is probably absolutely not. Who's done that? Besides me. No, I'm just kidding. There's people who've done it from farther. We've shown that gentleman's channel that he's filmed it from 225. I believe that this could have been seen for 100 miles further back than me. So somebody could have filmed it from 277 miles away if they wanted. The next one is, I believe, for those of you in California, if you just type in Vandenberg Launch, then there'll be a site that's called Space Launch. Oops, that's not right. Yeah, spacelaunchschedule.com. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing. Move this over. I'll check super chats 1 second. I see a couple of them coming through. So this page here is nice because you can go to, here's the upcoming launch schedule. So you'll see this is today's or yesterday's. So Falcon 9 is the one I filmed. So Monday, February 10th at 6:09 p.m. So the next one that just got added is Monday, February 17th. So a week from yesterday at 5:38 a.m. Oh, I got to get up early. That's actually a really good time. That's still dark. It's going to be great. So if anybody's in California and you want to get up early on Monday the 17th, do that from anywhere in California. There's people in Arizona. There's people in Utah that filmed it. I believe if you type in SpaceX Utah and then search by date. Oops, where's more? Tools. Anytime, go last 24 hours. Then you'll see all these people who saw it from Utah. Aliens are not invading, but what was the lights over Utah? Starlink launch from California results in stunning mysterious sight in night sky. SpaceX seen across southern Utah. Now, am I just dumb or I need to see a map? Where the hell is Utah that you would see this? Let me just back up here. I want to see what we're looking at here. Why would you be able to see this in Utah? The hell is Utah at? Let's go. Let's turn this way. I only know the map if I'm looking the right way. So Utah is what? I don't get how that's even possible. I guess. Wow, that's pretty far. Where in Utah were they seeing it? I just want to see what the so distance from here to Utah. I mean, that's a minimum 400 miles. Way more up here, but minimum 400. It's pretty crazy. They could have been seeing it southern Utah, but still, it's still going to be 400, huh? Yeah, 400 miles. So that's pretty incredible. They should have seen it way late. And it would be, you know, again, if we look at any pictures, it should be right above the horizon, maybe. SpaceX Launch seen it soaring across Utah. Let's look at this. Certainly lower. That's from Utah? Sorry, I'm just reading this. Southern Utah residents caught quite a sight. Wow. Because, I mean, you could see this. I'm trying to think. How far for 400? I just want to go check real quick. What's the curve on 400 miles? 400 miles. gives us a geometric drop of 106,000 feet. 106,000 feet. Does that seem right? 106,000 feet, 2 kilometers. So I can see where that was at. That's 32 kilometers. I just want to see where that's at on this launch real quick. 32 kilometers. We need to go to our video here, scene 2. I want to see where that is at. We're going to go back here. Where's that? So what did I say? 32 kilometers?
Merlin vacuum vehicle.
Oh, that's pretty quick.
For the start of its burn. Coming upon a few events in fairly rapid succession.
Oh, wow. It actually matches.
First stage main engine cutoff for MECO.
So that's 32 kilometers right there. So that is 106,000 feet. And it's before the separation. What I was bringing that up is because if you look over here on this image, you can see the separation happen. So you're going to see it a little bit, then the separation. It seems like it matches perfect. We can press play again.
About T plus 2 minutes and 25 seconds.
See, so you're seeing it for
stage separation a few seconds out.
You're seeing it for a short time before the cutoff.
Merlin vacuum engine. Payload fairings will be deployed a little before the 3-minute mark.
Yeah, so it's way up high right
2
now.
minutes into flight.
Okay, makes sense. I'll flip back 1 second. I just want to see this thing take. Because now it's way high. It's right now at. It's 200,000 feet right there.
Main engine cutoff.
Yeah, so that's way before. So see if we go back here and look.
Stage separation confirmed.
Kind of matches this. Which is going to be, you're not seeing it. Then we saw it for a little bit as it hit that 100,000 feet. And then it does the stage separation at 200,000 feet. Continues on this way. This does show an increase in altitude, not a decrease. It seems to me to show an increase. So I know from our perspective, it might look like it's going down. From their perspective, it doesn't. So that's pretty crazy. Let me look at the super chats. Appreciate you guys being here and all that fun stuff. We got 6 o'clock coming up here shortly. And we will listen to MC Tune give us the what have you on the experiments. So let's see what we got here. Get overlay. No, that's wrong. That's not what you want to do. You want to do live chat. Nope, you don't want to do that either. You want to do fan funding. There we go. All right, let's take a couple of these. We got Mike Jones says, how do you imagine people survive antipodal to each other on your spinning ball in a vacuum other than some sort of magic that you can't explain? That's pretty accurate. I mean, if you just want to disregard everything else, then sure, you can say that. I mean, I would say that it's more likely once you've realized there's a south celestial pole. Okay, well, that is a problem for flat Earth, which means there's a south pole, which is a problem for flat Earth. And you realize that the Tropic of Capricorn goes left, not right. That's a problem for flat Earth. And you notice that the sun goes backwards and upside down. The moon goes backwards and upside down. There is a south, and the south is the exact opposite of the north. All those things combined mean that silly little sayings like antipodal to each other, spinning ball backwards. An antipode isn't a problem if the world works the way that they say. I'm going to tell you. And again, who am I to say that, we can't have people upside down to each other? Well, they're not upside down to each other. When I was in Antarctica, I was right side up. Now, if you were in the United States, you were right side up. How does that work? Well, it's because down is towards the middle of a sphere, not towards the bottom of nothingness or whatever we might have formerly believed. Here's the thing about flat Earth that is baffling to me is that people should know that flat Earth was based off the idea that the South was a lie. That's what it was based off of. That's why maybe you guys came around later and didn't notice that. But if something's going to work in the physical world, it has to match physical observations. And so were there some issues with flat Earth early? Yes, there was. But if we went down there, for example, and we saw the sunset, that would prove or at least disqualify the globe and make the flat Earth much more viable, if not the going truth, because there's no rhyme or reason for there to be a sunset in Antarctica in December, that deep in. So again, Mike, I appreciate the $5, but I think you should just think a little bit, and hopefully you're not religious, because if you are religious, I just want to warn people that God created a sphere. And if you are in the habit of laughing at it, just know that you're doing the opposite of what you think you're doing. You think you're protecting God or something because you think that he made a flat earth. And I'm just telling you that you can tell that he didn't. It took me 10 years. I feel bad, but unfortunately, I thought a lot of the South stuff was lies. I thought that we were being lied to. I thought that there was no footage for a reason. I thought that Stephen Hawking lying about his experiment was because the earth was flat. I thought that Nat Geo lying about their experiment was because the earth was flat. It turns out that they were just lying because they were dirtballs. I don't know what reason they're lying, but it's not because the earth is flat. Because if it was flat, it would have all these things that would work for it. And here's the last thing, Mike, that you should get, is that, as I've shown before, all the sunrise times and sunset times everywhere on Earth, for no matter where you go, matches the globe model. And on the flat Earth model, there isn't one sunrise or sunset time that can be predicted with the flat Earth map, nor angle. They're all off. So I don't think anymore that it's even possible to lie to people about where they live if you move the location and expect observations to match. So just think about that. Think of a flat place, maybe my desk here. I'm thinking like, okay, I put a bunch of people here, they live there, and there's a sun that goes around them on top. Okay, great. If I wanted to be sinister and I said I want to put them on a ball and make them think they live there, I could do that. And I could probably map it pretty well that they would never know. However, when it comes to observations of the lights in the sky, that's when they would know. They would look around, they would watch the sun, and they would say, wait, that sun doesn't match what would happen on a sphere. And it's because, of course not. How would it be? How would I, unless I can manipulate the sun and make it do something differently than it does, the sun is going to still orbit above their heads on a flat Earth, which means it will not jive with a sphere. First of all, there would never be an upside down sun. There would never be a backwards moving sun. Those things can only happen because something happened like wonky. Either the sun turned upside down, or the sun went backwards, or you went upside down. Which of those do you think is more likely the truth? I think it's pretty simple to figure it out. And then here's the thing. I mean, once you realize that there can be no South Pole on a flat Earth map, because the South Pole must be everywhere. It's away from this everywhere. Well, that doesn't work because we know that there's now a South Celestial Pole. I saw it. Every one of us saw it. It stays still in the night sky. Okay, so in the south, you're looking at a southern celestial pole where the stars turn around it the opposite direction that they do in the north. And if we have a north pole, and above it is the north celestial pole, and we have a south celestial pole, what do you think is below the south celestial pole? If you can answer that question, you know whether or not flat Earth is viable or tenable. It's that simple. Think about it. Would God put random nothingness below the South Celestial Pole? Does that make any sense? Nope. It would be land, right? It would be a land location. And people could all walk in that direction, and they would all end up at the same spot. Not away from each other. They wouldn't all walk towards the South Pole and end up away from each other. That wouldn't work. And again, how did I figure all this out? Well, because you can watch the sun and you can see what the sun does, and it's the exact opposite of what it does in the north, does in the south. And then you start thinking, well, wait a second, if as above, so below, all these things, and then you're like, well, if the south is the complete opposite of the north, that's not something you can fake. You cannot make a map and say, okay, we're going to make the north. Now we have to make the south identical to, because again, it's not going to match observations. Can't do it. So the fact that our observations match as far as the sunrise sunset times leads me to believe that that must be the place where we live. Otherwise, it wouldn't match. And for people who say, oh, but it's a backwards reflecting, superfluidity, reverse osmosis, refraction reflection, I get it. But the problem with that is, of course, we didn't see any signs of reflection. And also, why would God be a deceiver? Why would he make the earth so that it can be answered with one word, sphere? Why would he do that if that's not the right answer? The right answer is backwards moving, upwards refracted, dome refraction of 20,000 mile displacement for an apparent sun. Apparently. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. I don't think of a creator that way. I think that we would have been given a world that we could figure out on our own. And here's the thing. Everybody who says we always got to trust NASA, or you don't have to trust NASA for anything I just said. Call somebody who lives in Australia or take a trip there. Call Flatzoid. okay, and ask him, because he lives in South Africa and can't figure it out, I guess, that there's a south celestial pole. He can go outside and he can look south and he'll see a south celestial pole where all the stars turn around. And the answer of, but there's no star there, Octanus can't be seen, makes no difference. Makes no difference. Guess what? Polaris isn't the center either. Okay, Polaris is off center, so it actually goes around the celestial pole as well. So if we've got a north celestial pole and 180 degrees from it, a south celestial pole, then we know what's under the north celestial pole. What do you think's under the south celestial pole? So I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but flat Earth, be muerto. Everybody hang your heads and say a prayer for its final resting place. Okay, goodbye. All right, it's good. Let's go to the next one. We got Mike Jones again. Oh, great. Hey, Jaron, your chat claims they can explain it without invoking magic. None of them can type out, though. God bless them. Well, again, if you're going to call it magic, then you've already presupposed your outcome. So I don't know what you want from anybody else. You've already said it's magic. So anything that they say, and I get it. Did I believe in gravity? Do I believe in all that? Right now, what I care about is getting the shape of the land correct. Because otherwise, you're teaching your children things that are not true. You are teaching people things that are not true. So this one more day, if I went saying the earth was flat, I would be teaching something that is not true and will not be true. It's not coming true. Nothing will make the earth flat. It's just not possible. It's not possible for the earth to be flat and to observe what I observed. And those people who have now jumped onto this, the sun must be fake, or the sun must be, again, flat earthers are the ones who always bring up Richard Feynman. What does Richard Feynman say? If your theories don't match the observations, change the theory. You have to scratch it, throw it away. So the observations of the earth do not match the flat earth in any way. It needs to be thrown in the basura and called what it is, mierda, and then we go from there. Thanks, Mike. Mike again. Jaron, how long did it take you to decide to completely dismiss bizarre optical phenomenon in favor of competing impossible physical phenomenon? I don't know what you mean. I don't know what that means. How long did it take you to decide to completely dismiss bizarre optical phenomenon? Yeah, because some things are bizarre. Some things look weird. Sometimes we can see far. Oh, so what? You see too far, we see 20 miles. The Earth is 24,901 miles. It's not really impressive to me that we see a little farther than we should, because things refract, light bends. Those things I can accept. Did I think that they were the truth 3 months ago, 2 months ago? No. But after you're shown that your model is completely wrong, and that there is a south pole and there is a south celestial pole, and the sun does stay up in the sky, and it does stay up in the sky for months, that doesn't work on a flat Earth. Once you see that the southern tropic curves to the left, how could it curve to the left? That's where the land has to be. So it means Australia is down to the left. It means everywhere is down to the left, which means that's a globe. Because the flat Earth runs out there. That's the end of the flat Earth. How would it be going over there? So it doesn't even make sense. We've got Nick, who says, from my brother, Nofold 33, he can't afford to pay you, but hopes you never leave YouTube. Thank you very much, Nick. That's very nice of you. We've got, oh boy, Signusto? Oh boy. I don't know what that is. Singus, STSP. That's probably better. I say we all send Jaron thousands of dollars to make Nofold jealous and more angry. I'm all for that. Courtesy Nofold 33. Great job. Thank you for the $9.99. JD 63. We've got the Roriga for the Man of Truth. Surprising that, there's Austin Thompson is another one who's definitely coming along, or not coming along. He's under the same impression I am, that the final experiment did invalidate the flat Earth that certainly we taught. And again, many people say, but Jaron, you don't know if there can be another flat Earth. No, I do know, because we know the continents, we know the tropics, we know the equinox. Once you know those things, every time you try and lay down a flat map, it will be the AE map. That's it. There's nothing else. You can't just place continents out in La La Land and be like, well, now it's not an AE map. Well, now it doesn't match any observations. At least if you put the Tropic of Capricorn and the Tropic of Cancer and the equator there, at least you're matching some observations, because we know that that's the case. We know that the sun doesn't go further than the tropics, because those are the only places it gets no shadow on the solstices. So anyway, we've got Nofold 33 would like to conceive more children with you. Is Nofold a female or a male? Just asking. And we've got Rhino in the house. Rhino, what's up? Did you record? Probably not. Keep crushing, brother. Yeah, the next one, Rhino, if you want to do it from Monterey, that'd be awesome right there. I think that I would like to have somebody do it from further up north. So I'll reach out. I got a buddy up there that's Enrique. Everyone remembers Enrique. So, all right, let's skedaddle because I got to get ready for the next show. We've got MC Toon and 5 of the final experiments, which I feel this is the first time they've been presented. So I'm going to be challenging him on anything that I think needs to be challenged. Or will we see a excellent record? We'll have to see. I have not seen 2 or 3 of these experiments. I've not seen anything with the magnetic flux yet, so that's all new to me. But I think some good ones that you should pay attention to are the South Celestial Pole, the Southern Sunrise-Sunset times and angles, and the other one was Tropic of Capricorn, maybe? One of those. So I appreciate you guys' support, and see you in a half hour. MC Toon will be here, and we will get through the first 5 of the final experiments. The final experiments, I believe that's called. And then we also have coming, we'll talk about it on the next one, but next 2 weeks from today, we've got the final experiment rewind, and that'll be live on the final experiment channel. And we'll do our remembrances, and we'll do our debunkings if we have to still debunk stuff or people still going crazy. The trip was 100% real. I've never lied to you before. I'm not going to start today. Trip was 100% legit. It is what it is. And the sun circles. And the sun circles for months in that location. I still think people are a little confused. Somebody messaged me yesterday about why is it that some places in Antarctica don't have 24-hour sun? Because the places, if you're at the South Pole, you get 6 months of 24-hour sun. But the second you move off the South Pole, it goes quickly down to, well, that's not true. As soon as you move away from that circle, and this is what matters is the time, right? So if you're talking about December 21st, then almost all of Antarctica, I believe all the land, if I'm not mistaken, almost all the land gets 24-hour sun as of December 21st. But quickly, as the months go on, you start to bring that circle in. And I even think right now, Union Glacier would be very close to not getting it. Oh, no, what did they say? End of February? So they've got about 2 weeks left, 3 weeks left, and then that will disappear. It will dip down the horizon. It will set and rise again. And then, or does it just set once from there? No, I guess it's the South Pole. Because the South Pole would set once, right? So anyway, that's, if you have any more questions as far as that goes, some people still not understanding that the camp was, people still think I said set or something. Again, it doesn't matter what I said. I'm telling you now that it never set. So if you think I hung a lemon or you think that I tried to code that it did set, that's ridiculous. There's 70 employees down there. I talked to about 12 of them, and every one of them didn't mince words at all by saying, oh, I'm down here every year, November through February, and the sun doesn't set. So if all those people are lying, it doesn't even make sense. How is the whole area lit up? How a fake sun is so ridiculous to me that anybody would ever postulate that. And the other thing that baffles me is the people that I've been trying to talk to about the North Pole and South Pole, their new line is when I say, okay, so we know the North Pole exists, right? They say, have you been there? No, I have not been to the North Pole. I've not been to Australia either. It exists. I've not been to China. It exists. Okay. They're like, no, but if you haven't been there, how do we know for sure? I said, because Polaris is there. What do you think's below Polaris? We know that you move 69 miles, the stars change by 1 degree. So if I'm at 37 degrees north, that's 37 degrees to the pole star. 37 times 69 would be exactly my distance to the North Pole, 3,500 something, right? So we know that that's what the celestial pole is and what's underneath it. And we know that man can't change that. Man can't change the stars. So Polaris is either the axis of the sky rotation or the axis of the Earth rotation, one or the other. And 180 degrees from it is Sigma Octantis, or the empty area that contains Sigma Octantis, and all the stars turn around it the opposite direction. And that is all she wrote. If you have a North Pole and a North Celestial Pole and a South Pole and a South Celestial Pole and a sun that flips upside down and a moon that flips upside down, and both of those go backwards in the sky, then you have to start asking yourself, could it be possible that we were wrong about the flat Earth? Considering the important things about the flat Earth is nobody can go to Antarctica. There's a no 24-hour sun, that it sets there. They can't let people know that. That has been found out to be wrong. Was it a gaslight? Was it some sort of psyop? Probably. But that's not important to me. What's important to me is that we get to the truth. The truth is that the Earth is a sphere. Does it suck? Well, for those of us who spent 10 years thinking it was something else, yeah, it sucks a little bit. But on the other hand, at least we know the truth now. It's not questioning it. And we know that we can worry about more important things. And there's a lot more important things. And I think a lot of people may have wasted a lot of time on this idea. And that's why I'm making it kind of a mission to make sure I let people know that talking to Austin Thompson, and we're going to do a show together just to kind of talk some of this out. He also describes like beer goggles, or the opposite of the They Live sunglasses, which is when you're in this conspiracy, when you believe in the flat earth, there is a mental block that gets placed there. I don't know how. I don't know why, if it's my brain that was protecting me or what, but you just stop listening to people from the alternate camp. And that is not safe. It's just not safe. Now, again, you might say, but the Globers don't listen to us. And I get it. The difference is they're right. Do you understand? That's what allows people. Don't be an asshole, but if you're going to be an asshole, at least be right. You don't want to be an asshole and be wrong, or else your name is Jaron. So don't do that. All right, guys, we'll see you shortly. I remind you, do your own research, because when you do, you'll realize that you can tell the shape of the ground by the lights in the sky. Man, imagine that. You don't get just to make up your own rules and say you can't do it. What? That's like you being a murder detective and being like, we can't tell the murderer by the splatter of the paint of the blood on the wall. It's like, well, no, it's evidence. We should probably look into that. No, we can't. We can't do it. We can't tell the shape of the ground by the lights in the sky. Well, it's evidence though. Let's look into it. Let's check it out. Might you be saying that because it disproves a flat Earth? So then we just eliminate that altogether. All right, you're right. Yeah, because that does prove it. So then forget it. Never mind. We can't use that as proof, so don't do it. Yeah, no, leave it alone. All right, guys. I love you. Till next time. Oops. Do we have some? Oh, no, that's it. Do I have an outro to play? I don't think so. We don't. Do we have an outro here? We'll try and press play on this. Who knows what it'll be. Till next time. Peace.
Yeah. Yeah. It was nice just hanging out. Now go and hit the bell. Share it with the homies so that they could grow as well. They missing out. Jaren leaves no doubt. If you know what we bout, it's never for the clout. Don't fuck around. Hey, not for the clout. That's too cap. We calling them out. Balls get flat when you cover the route. Jeranism all in your mouth. Truth gets lost like all on the couch. But it's time to get up and make them get out. Uncover the route. Jeranism. We are the crown. Telecasting worldwide.
Check the flat Earth. It's falsified.
Space is spinning the effect. All the scientism lies. Telecasting worldwide. Check the globe is falsified. Space is spinning the effect. All just scientism lies.
Who this be? What he about? You stay spinning, he stand out. About flat Earth, it's flat out. He's still standing when you pass out. Globers pound, scream and shout. He can turn you inside out. Yeah, surface deep, he's fell throughout. And he stay grounded, you spaced out.
We gotta run nowhere when we come fact check your facts and match your data. Concept is too abstract, what matters? Trying to tune in, but the note get flatter. Tell me I'm flattered. Flatter than pancake batter, now we landed. Jeranism, I'm your captain. Speaking, telecasting world.
Check the flat Earth. It's falsified.
All just scientism lies. Telecasting worldwide. Check the globe is falsified. Space is spinning to your back. All just scientism lies. You know equations to the things you make the symbols for, but ain't really explaining what the symbols for.
I'll just make a point to say, don't listen to the words of the song. They're incorrect. They need to be changed. And I don't know what to change them to, but I will soon. So just listen to it and pretend to remember the old days.
We're certain this what life look like when your mind is certain. Okay, gotta buy the truth and now it's certain this what life look like when your mind is certain. Thanks to the east side, thanks to the west side, thanks to the north side, way down to the south side. Thanks to the east side, thanks to the west side, big ups to the north side, way down to the south side. Telecasting worldwide, check the globe is falsified. Space is spinning the effect, all just scientism lies. Telecasting worldwide, check the globe is falsified. Space is spinning the effect, all just scientism lies. Telecasting worldwide, check the globe is falsified. Space is spinning the effect, all just scientism lies. Telecasting worldwide, check the globe is falsified. Space is spinning the effect, all just scientism lies.